Stirring your soul for massive success from Seychelles to the world. This is the Well of Inspiration podcast with your host, Wellington.
It's a beautiful day and welcome to the Well of Inspiration podcast. This is episode number 9. My name is Wellington and I'd like to thank you for taking your time to listen to this podcast. We're coming to you from the beautiful islands of Seychelles, the number 1 holiday destination in the world. I hope wherever you are already making plans to visit this place. You just have to come and see this country. I'm going to be telling you a little bit more about the islands in a little while, but let me begin by reminding you that with this podcast, my commitment to you is to introduce you to information, ideas, and strategies that can help you and challenge you to think about your life a little bit deeper and to do the things that help you to take your life, your careers, your business, your finances, and even your relationships to the next level of success. Now, today I'd like us to touch on something that I consider to be the most essential ingredient for growth, development, and success of human beings. It is one thing that you absolutely must have if you want to increase your ability or to get better in any area of your life. I believe that if you want to stand out and make a difference, you definitely need to be very much in control of this thing. Over the years, I have come to learn that it is actually one of the hardest things for a person to develop. What am I talking about? I'm talking about courage. From my own observation of life, it is actually because of lack of courage that many dreams never see the light of day. And what happens with courage is that it really comes alive when you are working against the odds, when you need to rise above fear and make a significant contribution to your life, maybe your organization, your family, your community, or even your country. But what is this thing called courage? So I've come up with a definition that I believe is what summarizes what courage is. Courage, from my point of view, is when you are willing to risk your life and your resources for the sake of something that you truly believe in. In other words, courage reveals what you truly care about. It reveals that which inspires you to overcome even yourself. And it takes many forms. It can come from a moral point of view, from an intellectual point of view, emotional, psychological, political, social, spiritual, financial. It could really be anything. When one becomes a person of courage, they move beyond just being good enough. Sometimes it is just easier to settle for good enough because actually being good enough in itself is powerful. If you look around you, there are so many people who want to achieve great things, but they are just not good enough. Those people who dare to go beyond just good enough, they are the ones who are the people of courage. And there's always these opposing forces that try to push you back when you try to go beyond the average. That's why many people opt to stay average, because going beyond the average is absolutely an act of courage. What it takes is a fighting spirit, a resilient mentality, and a calculated strategic approach to the way you do your things. But you know, my friends, if you really want to make a difference and to lead and contribute, you just have to be courageous. If you are committed to be the best version of yourself, to be the best person you can be, if you are committed to do greater than average, you must simply choose to grow. You must choose the path of growth, which may be a more difficult path, and it starts with you finding the courage that you need to go in that direction. But the question that remains is, what can one do to find courage? Where do you look? And I'm going to give you a few ideas of where you can look around to find courage or to be able to develop courage within yourself to do the things that you want to do. When we come back from the other side of speaking about the beautiful country of Seychelles, as per my promise, I always shared a bit more light on this beautiful island, which is an amazing holiday destination. And today I'd like to introduce you to the financial services sector of the Seychelles, which I believe is one of the most stable within the region. Since the 2008 economic reforms, the country has enjoyed a relatively stable financial services sector and a very stable financial system. As I'm speaking to you right now, the country has a total of 10 banks registered within the country and a total of 26 bureaux de change within the country scattered all over the island. meaning you can buy and sell foreign currencies from many different parts of the country. It also has 15 payment service providers, which are in addition to the bureau de change and the banks, but you also find that there are 2 non-banking financial institutions as well as a credit union. Wherever you go around the island, you can easily use most internationally acceptable credit cards such as Visa, MasterCard, or China Union Pay, which has become very popular recently. You can find these acceptable in many hotels, shops, and you can easily conduct business without any challenges. Seychelles also has a very active and a very vibrant offshore financial sector, which is a sector that facilitates international businesses to be able to set up structures for both international business as well as wealth management for those who are high net worth who want to protect their assets or conduct their business in very tax efficient ways. Seychelles provides those kinds of structures. So if you are interested in that kind of business, please do get in touch with us. We'll be able to direct you to the right people. If you are a trader on the financial markets, there are licenses which are being promoted in the Seychelles right now, such as the International Securities Dealers License, which you can use to conduct business internationally as a trader on the financial markets. This is something interesting that I believe that everybody who is considering growing their business and expanding their enterprise into the international space should actually be looking at countries like Seychelles, and Seychelles being, in my view, one of the best in this kind of space for you to look at. So that's about it on the Seychelles. Let's head back into our discussion about courage. And the question is, so where can one find courage? What can one do if they are lacking in courage and they want to find a way to improve their courage and be able to go out there and do the things that they want to do? I would like to suggest 3 sources of courage that I think everybody should consider. The first one being hanging around encouraging people. You know what, guys? Anything you do in life requires other people, and finding the courage to grow is actually no exception. We all need cheerleaders, people who are always in our corner, giving us the confidence and the courage to take on the challenges of life and navigate through the bumps that we are inevitably going to come across. People who believe in you and in your ability to grow will do wonders for your courage, because you know that even if something goes wrong, you've got a support system that you can fall back on, regroup, and then come back and try again. That's the power of having encouraging people around you. The next thing you might want to think about is your environment. Whether it's your office, your home, your workplace, your church, or your community, you need to spend time in places where your growth is not only allowed, but is embraced. I believe so much in creating an environment that encourages growth that this is something that I practice in my own personal life, in my family life, and in my social circles. Because I believe that the environment you surround yourself with has a huge impact, and you must make it a point to surround yourself with an encouraging environment, an environment that allows you to thrive as an individual so that you can be the best version of yourself and go on to achieve the great things that you want to achieve. The other thing you might want to think about as well is the kind of words that you use with people or the words people use with you. Because you can find courage in the words of other people. That's one of the reasons why we actually do this podcast, because we believe that whatever words we say here may be useful to one person, and if they can take these words and use them to better their life, our mission will have been accomplished. It is also the reason why I wrote a book, because with the book, someone can take that book and read the words even without meeting me as an individual. They might be able to find something useful within the book and use it to expand their life and achieve greater things. So I believe that by listening to words or reading words, you can be inspired by people even if you never get to meet them in person. But if you do meet people in person, make sure that the words that you use with them are words that encourage and motivate and push them towards achieving great things in their journey. So it doesn't matter where you're getting your words from. It may be from books, from the radio, from social media, podcasts, seminars, from your friends and family. Make sure that the people you choose to listen to have nothing but encouraging words that can help you in your journey through life. And as we come to the end of this podcast today, my friends, allow me to say this to you, that growth is not for the timid. It takes honesty to admit that you aren't as good as you could be. But being honest about the need for growth is only half of the battle won, because to truly see change, you must summon the courage to act. Nelson Mandela once said that courage is not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. The brave man is not the one who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. So my friend, if you are looking for courage to conquer fear and to grow, surround yourself with an encouraging environment. Surround yourself with encouraging people and make sure to pay attention to encouraging words. There's a wonderful saying by Winston Churchill that I find very inspiring, which says that courage is going from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. Remember this saying the next time you feel like giving up, or the next time you feel like you have failed at something and you don't know how you can pick yourself up and try again. Thank you very much for listening in today. I hope that this podcast has been valuable to you. My intention with this podcast is to serve you, to give you value, to encourage you, inspire you, challenge you to think deeply about the things that matter in your life. So please feel free to share this podcast with as many people as possible within your network. And please do subscribe to the podcast so that every week I will be bringing to you a brand new episode, and I promise to give you only the best information that can help you to live your best life. You can also get in touch with me directly on my email address, which is info@wellofinspiration.com, or you can hit me up on WhatsApp. My WhatsApp number is +248 2562 011. You can also go to our website. Our website is wellofinspiration.com, and we will be happy to have a conversation with you anytime. Thank you so much for listening in today. This is episode number 9 of the Well of Inspiration podcast. God bless you, and we'll be back with you next week.
You've been listening to the Well of Inspiration podcast. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss any episodes. For more information, visit our website, www.wellofinspiration.com, or email us directly, info@wellofinspiration.com. You can also contact us on the WhatsApp. Our WhatsApp number is 2482562011. Until next time, live your life with passion. From Seychelles to the world, this is the Well of Inspiration podcast.